$3! That's exactly what you heard! With $3, you can have full access to my manga and in high quality, like Yamoshi as a girl, and of course, the best, Ankumo Saga. All this and much more with more than 5 gigs of fan manga access. Patreon Uncommon!
In the 7th universe. Currently in the 7th universe, it was possible to see Son Goku in his home resting after having eaten a lot. The Saiyan had spent a large amount of energy when fusing with Super Shenron to purify the entire 6th universe. After that, Goku returned to the 7th universe where his wife was waiting for him. And ironically, Chi-Chi had made several dishes of food for her husband, and she had done this simply because she had a feeling that her husband would need to eat a lot to replenish his energy. So at the moment Goku returned to his house, he told about his adventure in the 6th universe. And after saying everything that happened, Goku started to eat everything his wife had prepared and then went straight to his bed to rest, as Son Goku was still going to train with his granddaughter that same day, and as he didn't want to disappoint Pan, he needed to have renewed energy. After a considerably long rest, Son Goku awoke from his sleep, but he awoke simply because he felt the key of an old rival who was now very weak. Vegeta was now at the door of his house waiting for Goku to come to him, and feeling the presence of the Prince of Saiyans, Goku got up and sighed, and when he got up he saw his wife opening the bedroom door to talk about the visit. Guys, before continuing this epic story, I left your like to help the channel and also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any news. Chi-Chi said, apparently you've already woken up, and from what I already know about your new powers, I'd say you already know who's there wanting to talk to you, right? I noticed that Vegeta looks strange. It seems like his personality hasn't improved at all, said the woman before sighing while looking at her husband. Chi-Chi didn't like Vegeta's arrogant and proud personality from the beginning, but she learned to ignore the Prince of Saiyans and to walk away when he acted arrogantly. Goku said, yes, I know Vegeta is outside wanting to talk to me, but I really have no idea what he wants to talk about. Vegeta is arrogant and proud, and that's something that will never change, even with his powers sealed, but I'm really curious about why he came to our house. After all, I should be the person he hates most in this world, since I sealed his powers, and now the Saiyan Prince is no longer so powerful as to be a threat to Beerus or any other divine being. And even though Vegeta is a possible threat to planet Earth, I know he wouldn't do anything. After all, he loves his own family and wouldn't kill or risk the lives of any of them, the hybrid said now with a hand on his chin thoughtfully. After all, Vegeta wouldn't go to his house for no reason, and that was making Son Goku curious. Chi-Chi said, well, I think the only way for you to find out what Vegeta wants is to go there and see, and please do it quickly. I didn't trust him before, and after what he did, I trust him even less. So no, I want Vegeta to stay close to our house and much less to our children and grandchildren, said the woman while looking at her husband in a fearful way. Chi-Chi didn't like Vegeta, and she had a certain fear of what he would be capable of doing even with his powers weakened. After all, Vegeta was the type of person who would do anything for power, and even though his behavior improved after he married Bulma and had his family, that desire for power that was inside him still existed, and that made Chi-Chi afraid of Vegeta. Goku said, you know you don't need to have all this fear and fear, Chi-Chi. Vegeta now no longer has the power he once had. I sealed most of his powers. He is no longer a threat to any of us. Vegeta may still have some of his powers, but the powers he still has are not enough to defeat any of our children. After all, Gohan is so powerful that he reaches a power level similar to that of Vegeta with Ultra Ego activated, and Goten has the ability to transform into a Super Saiyan God, thanks to training that he did with Trunks under Whis supervision. So there's no need to be afraid because we all know how to defend ourselves, Goku said as he approached his wife and held her face in a gentle way. Chi-Chi said, I know that, but I'm still scared that something bad will happen, and that's a mother's thing. Even though I know that they are strong and they all have the ability to protect themselves and their families, I still worry with them, and even though I know that you are now as powerful as an angel like Whis, I still worry that you will end up getting hurt in battle like you always did in the past. Back then we had the Dragon Balls to bring you back and bring everyone back to life, but now you and our children are at a divine level in terms of power, and I'm afraid that Shenron doesn't have the ability to bring you back to life if you end up dying in combat. Chi-Chi spoke in a lower tone, showing how worried she was about not having her children and her husband by her side if they ended up dying. Goku said, none of us will die, Chi-Chi. I can guarantee you that, and for you to be more at ease, I'm going to create some objects that will make an impenetrable barrier to keep away anyone who tries to do any harm to someone in our family, so there's no need be so worried about anything like that. Goku said as he looked at his wife in a different way than he did in the past. After all, Goku didn't show so many feelings in the past, and that left Chi-Chi surprised and happy. Chi-Chi said, "You changed even after becoming half angel. I think that in addition to becoming more beautiful with that appearance, you also became more loving, so I should thank Daishinkan when I see him. After all, he made you look like that," Chi-Chi said with a sweet smile on her face as she looked at her husband, who just laughed a little embarrassed. Goku said, "Apparently my training not only increased my power but also improved my personality, and now I can be a better husband for you." Goku spoke a little embarrassed, but the couple's atmosphere was soon interrupted when they heard the noise of someone knocking on the door of his house. Chi-Chi said, "Apparently Vegeta is impatient with your delay. I think you'd better go and see him soon, or else Vegeta will end up knocking down the door, and I don't want that to happen," Chi-Chi said while looking at her husband, who just sighed at that. After all, he didn't want to have to talk to Vegeta at that moment, but apparently Goku would really have to do that. Goku said, "Apparently I'm going to have to talk to Vegeta. I just hope it's not something that bad, because I honestly don't feel like hearing Vegeta complaining about anything, especially about the ceiling of his powers," Goku said before sighing. After all, he didn't feel like listening to the complaints of his former Saiyan rival. Even though Goku didn't want to, he left his room and went to the living room, where he opened the door and came face to face with Vegeta, who still had a proud and arrogant posture, and seeing this, Goku just sighed and left the house, closing the door. Goku said, "Apparently you haven't changed much, have you, Vegeta?" Goku commented upon seeing his former friend's posture that even without most of his powers, his personality didn't seem to have changed at all. Vegeta said, "Even without my powers, I will never change the way I am. I will never abandon my Saiyan pride, and much less my arrogance as a prince. Neither you nor anyone else can change that, Kakarot." Vegeta spoke with his usual arrogant and proud posture while looking at Goku, who just sighed. Goku said, "Vegeta, just tell me why you came to my house, because I know you wouldn't come here just for nothing, so say what you want and then leave," Goku said while facing his old rival. Vegeta said, "I want you to give me back my powers. In short, I want you to break this seal and give back the strength that I worked so many years to achieve," Vegeta said while looking at Goku, who was going to say something, but Vegeta didn't let him and continued talking. Vegeta said, "Look, I want to possess my powers again, but this time, I'm not going to try to kill Beerus to become the new god of destruction of the 7th universe, so I'm going to ask Beerus to let me temporarily replace him, and I know he will allow me to replace him. And the reason is very simple. Beerus doesn't do his duty as god of destruction of the 7th universe correctly, and spends his days eating and sleeping. So if I take his place, I will do his duty in the right way, and Beerus will not lose his position as destroyer before the other gods of destruction, and he will still be able to do what he wants without worrying about taking care of the 7th universe, and I will be able to fulfill my dream of being the god of destruction of the 7th universe. So it would be a way for Beerus and I to get what we want, and in the end, no one loses," Vegeta said while looking at Goku, who upon hearing this sighed, but what Vegeta said made complete sense, and the chances of Vegeta trying to deceive Goku would be low. Goku said, "Okay, I'll give you this second chance, but I'll tell you that if you try to do something like in the past, you won't survive, and it won't be Beerus who ends your life, but me, and I'll tell you that if I eliminate you, not even Super Shenron will be able to bring you back to life." Goku spoke in a very serious tone that ended up making Vegeta feel a chill down his spine. Goku, after saying this, approached Vegeta and touched his forehead, releasing his power again, and in the next instant an aura of destruction surrounded Vegeta's body, one that was much more powerful than the original Ultra Ego, and after a few seconds, Goku saw that Vegeta had activated the power of Ultra Ego, but a version superior to the old one he had in the past, and that surprised Goku. In the 7th universe. Currently in the 7th universe, it was possible to see Goku and Vegeta in front of Son Goku's house, where he lived with his wife Chi-Chi. At that moment, Goku was looking at Vegeta, who had just recovered his powers because Vegeta had convinced Goku to release his powers, claiming that he would become the god of destruction of the 7th universe. But for this to happen, Vegeta said that he would not eliminate Beerus, but rather replace him to do his job as a substitute god of destruction. And with that, no one would have to get hurt. And as Goku agreed to that, the half angel ended up releasing Vegeta's powers. and the moment he felt his original power return to his body, he transformed into something similar to Ultra Ego. But a more powerful version, Goku was able to feel right away that this transformation was much more powerful than the original Ultra Ego that Vegeta possessed. Goku said, "What kind of power is this, Vegeta? In our last fight, you hadn't used this power, and remembering the way you were that day, you would definitely use this power to surprise me and eliminate me in a moment of carelessness, and you would even try to eliminate Beerus without the need for help of Frieza if you were using your current power," asked the Half-Angel while looking surprised at the new transformation of his former rival. Vegeta said, "It looks like I was right. This one Kakarot is my Ultra Ego Level 2 power. A more powerful version than the original Ultra Ego and with a more refined and pure destruction energy than the previous transformation, which makes it more powerful and destructive than before." Vegeta spoke with a huge arrogant and proud smile on his face, while a violet aura surrounded his body, showing his grandeur in the face of inferior creatures. Goku said, "How did you get this power? You're supposed to have your power sealed, so how did you get a new divine transformation?" Goku asked, really curious and intrigued about the fact that Vegeta had obtained that new power by having his divine powers sealed by Goku after his battle against Vegeta and Frieza. Vegeta said, "I was already trying to evolve the power of Ultra Ego before having my powers sealed, and after you sealed them, I continued training to refine my energy, and the moment you released my powers, they were automatically refined, and with this, my Ultra Ego managed to evolve into its second stage, which is an even more dangerous version than the previous one. So just as you became an angel after mastering Ultra Instinct, I became a true god of destruction when mastering and evolved the power of Ultra Ego to level 2, which makes me a being superior to mortals, and just like the Super Saiyan God, I can stay in this transformation for as long as I want. I could stay that way permanently," Vegeta said while looking at his former rival, who was surprised to see and hear that, and now Goku and Vegeta were as if they were a god of destruction and his guiding angel. Goku said, "Apparently we both reached a level that no one would ever imagine reaching. We thought we would be the most powerful mortals in the universe, and now we are two divine beings who can live thousands of years. In reality, we are both hybrids, and we are still half mortal, even though we are divine beings. After all, we've come a long way, Vegeta." Goku spoke with a slight smile on his face as he looked at Vegeta and remembered the past when they met and faced each other, and in the future became rivals who were always looking to become more powerful. Vegeta said, "After becoming an angel, did you become more sentimental, Kakarot? Because your old self wasn't someone who would say that. In reality, if you were the same Saiyan from the past, you probably would have called me for a fight just to see the power of Ultra Ego Level 2 firsthand, but you don't even want to fight more. And I realized that since our last fight," said the Prince of Saiyans while looking at Goku, who ended up laughing. The newest angel really was different from how he was before becoming a divine being, just as Vegeta was now too. Goku said, "Becoming half angel made my mind change, and I didn't become sentimental or anything like that, Vegeta, but I admit that I stopped thinking that the world of martial arts was the only thing I had to do at that time. I wanted to be the strongest being, and now I have achieved my goal, and I have more reasons to try to overcome my limits, and so now I want to do what I haven't done in recent years, which is pay attention to my wife, my children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. I admit that I really didn't want to face you that time because I don't want to have to fight you anymore. I really wasn't fighting against the Vegeta that I know and consider a rival, but with the one who tried to kill me several times in the past, and I was already tired of facing the Saiyan Prince. In fact, I thought a lot about whether or not I should end you at that moment, but Bulma would want to kill me if I did that after all. Even though you are an idiot sometimes, she loves you a lot, and as one of her childhood friends, I would be an asshole if I killed the Saiyan that Bulma loves." Goku spoke while looking at the sky, and Vegeta was very surprised by his words. After all, the Goku of the past wouldn't be able to speak that way even if it were written on paper. Vegeta said, "You really changed. I never thought you would ever say something like that." "Well, that's actually good. After all, I need an angel to help me with the God of Destruction's work, and as Beerus won't be working, and neither will Whis, since he's Beerus' angel and wouldn't help me, especially after what I did, so he will probably rest with Beerus and you will help me in my work as God of Destruction," Vegeta said while looking at Goku, who was surprised by his words. After all, he didn't expect Vegeta to say that. Goku said, I want to be with my wife, acting like a perfect couple, and you're already trying to get me a job as your assistant? In fact, what about Bulma and her children? Are you going to leave her alone with your children and grandchildren? Goku asked before sighing. After all, he just wanted to have a calm life and wouldn't like to work for Vegeta as his angel, much less for Beerus, who was more boring than the Prince of Saiyans. Vegeta said, I'm not going to spend all day working as God of Destruction. I'm going to do my duty as God of Destruction, and I'm going to try to win back Bulma along with my children, and while I do that, you can have yours wife and your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. After all, just like you, I have to reward my family for the things I did in the past and also did with my family members, so you don't need to worry about that, Vegeta said while looking at Goku, who thought a little and then sighed. Goku said, okay, I'll be your angel, so if you ever go crazy and want to destroy the entire universe, I can stop you. Goku said, accepting to be Vegeta's angel and help him on that journey as God of Destruction that he would have if Beerus accepted his proposal, something that wouldn't be so complicated to happen, especially with Goku being the angel responsible for him and how Goku was not a complete angel. He did not follow the rules of non-aggression like the other angels, so if necessary he could face, defeat, and possibly kill Vegeta or other beings that threaten the 7th universe. Vegeta said, okay, then let's go, because the faster we do this, the faster we can start acting like God of Destruction and his angel. Vegeta spoke, and then Goku returned to his house and told Chi-Chi that he was going to leave and that he would return later, and then Goku approached Vegeta and the two teleported to the Capsule Corporation. When they got there, Beerus and the other warriors present were with serious expressions and ready for a possible fight. Goku said, it seems like they didn't really like seeing that you've recovered your powers and that you're even stronger, Goku said while looking around and seeing that many were worried about Vegeta's power. Vegeta said, before you say anything, Kakarot released my power so I can temporarily replace you, Beerus, but I'm not going to try to do anything this time because even though I'm powerful in my new form, I'm still not capable of defeating Kakarot, and I know that he will eliminate me the moment I rebel, Vegeta said while looking at Beerus and Whis. Beerus was surprised. Beerus said, replace me! Do you really think that I will give my position as God of Destruction to you so easily? It doesn't matter if it was Goku who said that. I will not stop being the God of Destruction of the 7th universe, Beerus said, irritated while looking at Goku and Vegeta. Goku said, Vegeta will not become the God of Destruction of the 7th universe, but rather his temporary replacement where he will work as the God of Destruction of the 7th universe while you stay here resting and relaxing without worrying about your duties of God of Destruction. And since you don't do your duty as a destroyer correctly, then it wouldn't be a bad thing for you. After all, Vegeta would do his job and you would still be the God of Destruction of the 7th universe. And I'll make sure he doesn't do anything bad as God of Destruction. And since I'll be kind of acting like Vegeta's angel, Whis can rest assured and take a vacation just like you, Beerus, spoke the half-angel while looking at the destroyer of that universe together with his angel Whis. Both were surprised, as was everyone else present. Beerus said, since it's like that, Vegeta can be the God of Destruction while I take my vacation with Whis, but Vegeta better not try to take my position permanently, or else I wouldn't kill him. And yes, everyone who lives on this planet, and that includes the lives of your family members. The destroyer spoke seriously, making everyone except Goku and Vegeta fear for their lives. The two half-Saiyans just nodded, and then Goku summoned an angel staff, more precisely his staff, and then hit his staff on the ground, and thus changing Vegeta's clothes looked like a true God of Destruction, and he also changed his clothes to that of an angel. Then a pillar of energy surrounded the bodies of Goku and Vegeta, and they soon disappeared from the place, leaving everyone surprised at the speed at which things happened. So guys, the video ends here, but remember, don't forget to like the video to motivate me to bring epic videos like this one, and of course subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any news. So bye!